Hey guys, welcome back. I'm glad to have you here for this video. Today we are closing out our August, that's not what we're closing out. Wrong page. We are closing out our August 9th paycheck budget. This is one that quite honestly, I shouldn't say I don't want to do, but I have quite the category of stuff under miscellaneous, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm coming on here, like I said, I don't feel like not coming on here for accountability's sake, and I know that the only person that I really needed to be accountable for is myself. So there's that. But so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. I will go through and share just kind of what this looks like. And we're just going to move on. The next paycheck actually probably isn't going to be much better for spending just because of what's going on. But anyway, so our projected, when we look at our income, my income was as expected, $1333.95. That is pretty consistent. My husband is at $1540.89. My mileage check was $386.37. I don't know why I got those numbers mixed up. And then for round-ups, we ended up bringing in an extra 20 cents from rounding up our cash purchases. It was a little bit more than that, but then there were some different things that just like ate into that buffer, I guess. So our total income then is $3261 and 44 cents. All right, so if we come down here to our expenses, we did put $80. That was a donation to a company we make once a month, to an organization. $317.92 was actually what our electric bill was. Pretty understandable for the month of July. It's nice and cool in our house. And we added an air conditioning unit to our garage over the summer, so there's electricity running there as well. I did put $325 from this check aside for car and homeowners insurance, $131 for life insurance, $648 is Sirius XM, $40 for the kids insurance, half of our internet was $25, nothing for school lunch, $748 for Amazon Prime, $1283 for Kindle, $1069 for Hulu and Disney Plus, and $529 for HP Instant Ink. My half of the garbage was $51 as I anticipated, and $480 went to daycare. So that should be all the same other than the electric bill. I did that wrong. 80, 317, 92, 325, 131, 648, 40, 25, 748, 1283, 1069, 529, 51, 480. So that comes out to $1492.69. If we subtract that from the $3261.44 we started with, that leaves us with $1768.75 to budget. If we come down to our variable expenses, it was $280 to groceries. So you'll start to see I've pulled from things to cover things here. Mainly that trip. Okay, so eating out, we spent $86 of our cash in eating out on the trip. So my son and I went to Indianapolis for one overnight for a WNBA basketball game. I had budgeted $217, which included $126. Okay, so budgeted $217 for that. So the total amount that I spent, and I did a poor job because I didn't really budget for gas. I mean, I knew that I was going to have to pay for gas. I didn't anticipate how much. I'm used to my Suburban with a larger gas tank. It can go further. And I took my husband's Toyota. Anyway, so I budgeted $217. I ended up spending $333.30, and I will tell you where that came from. So $126.30 was for the hotel room. Let's see. Gosh, I just put the rest of the trip was $281 or $207, excuse me. And I pulled 68 from, I was going to allocate from what was going to go to gas. I took $68 out of there because I think my gas was like $100 and some odd dollars. I had to fill up 3 times. I pulled 15 from car wash, right? So that ended up being 0. I pulled 6 from work meals, so that I only spent 14 on work meals. His allowance was 70. Drinks ended up, I pulled some from drinks, so that ended up being 51. So let's see what else. I mean, I think actually if you want to go in my check-in video that I think I posted yesterday, I actually went through and figured out what all of the expenses were, the ones after the $126.30 for the hotel room that I had already paid, like from the trip when we were actually there, that I then had to reimburse back. So you can go check out all those. But anyway, $207 plus the $126.30. I pulled that 68 from gas, 15 from car wash, 14 from eating out. 94 of it was already budgeted. And I pulled 6 from work meals. And then I pulled the rest, the last 9, I think it was, to make the budget positive from drinks. Okay, so the diesel cost for my husband's truck was $92.30. Miscellaneous. So I budgeted this $42.79 for just this like Amazon issue with buying and returning a swimsuit that they said I didn't return, and I did, and I did not have the mental capacity to deal with that. Anyway, they credited me the wrong one, so I had to pay that bucket. What it was. Okay, so that was for a swimsuit mistake. I also spent $22.95 at Tyson's. It's a long story. It ended up being treats and like toys for 2 of my kids because my son had gotten something else. Okay, $9.11 on a pop socket, $42.76 on a window airbag kit thing to my husband bought to actually unlock my mom's vehicle because she locked her keys in it, but we're keeping it because he can use it. Obviously, I have locked my keys in my car a few times, so that's something that we can keep. $10.69, I got some new earbuds because mine died finally. $25.26 plus $9.14 were 2 Etsy purchases, and $64.44 I bought myself a plum paper daily planner, which you will see on here inevitably at some point. So when I talk about it, that was all spending that wasn't really allocated anywhere, and it didn't come. I didn't pull it out of my cash envelope, so I just put it under miscellaneous and covered it with this paycheck. So that was $227.16 in miscellaneous charges. Oh, I'll put that somewhere else. There's also an overspend that I had from the last pay period. I don't remember what it was. Let me look and see if I have it listed out. What it was for. Oh, yeah. I bought a book that was recommended on a podcast, and it's actually related to my work. I made a $7.60 Scooters purchase and a $14.11 Culver's purchase one day when I was on the road for work. Wasn't planning to be. It was a rough day. That's what I did. And then I had a work meal that I wasn't planning on for an additional training. So that was $9.63. And I had some cash in and rollover that I was used toward that, but it ended up out of this paycheck being $40.48 that went toward that overspend. Okay, so All right, so our variable expenses down here was $1,153.76. If I subtract that from $1,768.75, I get $614.99 left to budget. So we come on up to our sinking funds. I did put $25 towards Christmas, nothing for LP, into our travel. That was $4 into our 100 envelope challenge for travel. Kids, I cut that to fund the trip because, I mean, that was supposed to be a birthday present for my son, so that felt like an okay time to do, to pull from kids. Nothing went into gas. Vehicles, $25 into vehicle repair sinking fund online. $53 went into the emergency fund for the 52-week challenge online. Nothing went towards medical with this check. My allowance of $70 went towards the tattoo. Nothing went towards summer daycare. At this point, we're spending out of it. And $252 went into cash envelopes. And I have another sinking fund right now that I pre-K tuition. I was planning out being billed monthly. It's billed annually, and it's going to come out on September 3rd. So I'm just throwing money together from where I can to cover that in the meantime. So I was able to set aside $55 toward that with this check. So for our sinking funds, we have 25, 53, 70, 55, 252. So 484 is the total for that section, and if I subtract that from $614.99, I am left with $130.99 to budget. Then if we come down here, 48 cents ended up, 48 cents ended up in the buffer after, after to balance the budget at the end, which means 48 plus 48 cents is 40.96. If I subtract that from 130.99, I'm left with 90.03. And I know that I put a $90 additional principal payment on the debt, which leaves me with 3 cents left over. And I don't know where that came from or where that math is off at, but in any case, mostly that's balanced or closed out effectively. We'll just, if that 3 cents is still there, it would also go to the buffer, making that 51 cents. So that is our closed out budget for the August 9th paycheck. As I said, coming in here, I don't typically see a whole bunch of additional variable expenses because that's just not how it's been going, but that's how it went this time. And so, yeah, any questions, comments, whatever, let me know down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.